So let's go to the view. I'm going to click the cogwheel in the upper right hand corner and click Edit View. And we want to make sure we're in our attachment here. And we're going to add a contextual filter for this. So this makes sense. Before, we used a contextual filter to set certain content to display only when there was something in the URL. So we're doing the same thing here, except this time we're looking at a different part of the URL. So let's click Add next to contextual filters. And again, this is going to look a little bit strange, not just the code, but the process. Now, before we used NID in order to link up with the node ID, this time we're not linking up with anything. We just need a contextual filter that we can add some custom code validation to. So we're going to basically add an empty contextual filter. What this is called is global null. Again, kind of a weird name, but we're going to go ahead and check this and click Apply All Displays. Now, just like before, we're going to provide a default value. This time, it's going to be a fixed value, and we're going to put something in here. Actually, we're going to type anything in here. Now, the idea behind this is that this will always be true. We're providing a default value for an empty contextual filter, which means that it will always be true. And this basically just sets us up to be able to use an additional tool, if we scroll down here, to supply validation criteria. So if I check this, and then for the validator, select PHP code, we basically get to enter some PHP code that will check whatever we want to in order to set whether this contextual filter applies or not. So if we wanted to get some access to some other variable on the page and use that as a contextual filter, this is the same process that we'd go through. Again, hopefully as a site builder, you can stay away from PHP code most of the time. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. So the idea is that this validation PHP code will return true or false. So if we want this contextual filter to give us a thumbs up to display the slideshow, we need to return true only if we're on the home page and there isn't a page argument attached to the URL. Now the code that we're going to use is this. The core of it is this isSet function, which will check to see if there's a page variable in the query string in the URL. And that's using this get here. It's a $_ capital GET, and then we get to set what the variable name is. In this case, it's page, just like we see up here. An isSet will say true if it is set or false if it's not set. So on the home page, we're going to get a false. On every subsequent page, we'll get true. So we want to actually reverse that in order to display something just on the home page. So that's why we use this exclamation mark. It basically says if this is true, we're going to switch over to false. If it's false, we'll switch it over to true. So on the home page, it'll check to see if page is set. It's not, so that's false. We're going to reverse that, which makes it true, and then return that, which gives us a thumbs up to display this view. Every other time, the page will be set. So isSet will be true. We'll reverse that, which will make it false. And then we'll return that, which says, don't display this view. Okay, so that should be sufficiently confusing, but hopefully we broke it down into enough pieces that if you need to do it again, you know where to check. Okay, so now we need to make sure that we're applying this just to our attachment display. So we'll select this attachment up here at the top and click Apply this display. And now let's save it and test this out. And I'm going to exit out of the overlay. Okay. So our slideshow disappeared. We're on the second page right now. If we go to the first page, we see our slideshow appear. Okay, that looks good. Let's go to a couple other pages just to make sure. So I'm going to page 3. There's no slideshow. Page 4, no slideshow. Man, if that doesn't feel magical, I don't know what does.